you can do this by yourself. I wouldn't want to try it by myself.
I don't really see.
Because you probably want to have somebody use a fork to guide the cat through. The way you do this is you'll open one end and make sure you probably should wear a glove, but make sure that the traps stay together, and then you can open it up and then the cat will run out, hopefully. And then all the doors go back on. The trap that's there, the big trap that's there is a box trap or a drop trap. And we use these to trap multiple cats. I don't have one personally, but I'll show you what I do with this. But the purpose of this is, these things I call them Wile E. Coyote Acme road run trap. Because
Did they go under there?
yeah.
Oh, I've never
Yeah.
seen one. I see the house, so I'm assuming that's what it
Do
is.
you think that 3 cats will go in
It
there?
would
Yes.
probably be easier to trap 2 kittens in here.
Well, there's 3.
Okay, do they all eat together?
I see them come out like 2 at a time, and then maybe the other one will come out later. I don't see them all run out
Oh,
together.
yeah.
2 of them sometimes together.
Well, you have to make sure before you trap them at home.
Right.
So, the purpose of these is to be able to get cats all at once.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is probably the way. We use this as a weight. I put this on after I trap the cats, because that way it'll keep it. Also, I have a bigger blanket that I would use for a drop trap. So you're going to take the food.
A sheet.
Yeah, sheet is great. Just anything that you can cover it completely so that it becomes dark, kind of dark a little bit. Put the food back here as far as you can get it. That way they can't turn around and go real quick. Same thing, smelly food. Make a little trail. Be patient, because that's the trick. And then all you do is like you're going to hide behind a tree or something, or behind the house. You're going to watch. And when everybody's under there, you make sure that they're all busy. You pull it, and it's going to go down, and they're going to run all over into there. Put something heavy back on it, and then put the...
How do you?
Well, then,
How do you?
now you have to get them into a trap or a transfer cage. So let's use the transfer cage. Because it's the same, let's just make this a trap. It has a door. So it's the same thing. Make sure you have somebody to help you, because you're going to have to hold it. And it's a good thing to have the fork, because with the fork you can kind of stick it in and you gotta coax them into there.
If you
And you have to make sure.
put something over it and it's dark, they'll go
Yeah,
into it.
and you have to make sure that this is really close and somebody's holding it, because they can't get out.
And cover it, and they'll
Yeah.
go into the dark.
Absolutely.
If you have multiple cats in there, you get one in there, you gotta make sure the others.
Yeah.
Yeah, the others don't.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not.
It's really at least a 2-person job, though. I would
Oh,
recommend.
yeah.
What's that?
It's really a 2-person job.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Well, that's kind of what I trapped for a long time, but I did my best trapping and my most trapping when I had my trapping helper.
And because it's heavy too, something.
Yeah, and I got older.
Yeah. That's what
I didn't have my trapping helper to help me anymore.
In reality, we don't use a drop trap as much as you use a regular.
This,
This is for like that wily feral who knows.
and
about
the hard cat, the
tomahawks
cat
that
that's
live
hard
in
to
the
trap, and
wind. Or when you have a bunch of kittens that are still together and you try to catch them all at
We
once.
used the drop trap last year, the second time with Mr. Lang. The
Oh,
first time
right.
we got him in the trap, and we didn't think that was gonna happen again.
Right.
So we did the drop
Right.
trap. situations.
Yeah.
But that makes a good point, though. You might not get all three on the first round. You might only get one. You might get 2 out of 3. It may take a few more tries to get
Maybe use the
left.
smaller one first, I don't know.
You can set up a couple of
It's
traps.
one less step with the regular trap, because now you gotta worry about the transfer with this.
Yeah.
Where if you can do it, we may set up 2 or 3 of these, depending on what's available,
Mm-hmm.
and see what kind of luck you get. I know personally, the very first TNR that I helped with, and I mainly did transport, they got 5 of them the first evening, and they got the last 2 the morning of when I went to go pick them up. And those 7 would have turned into 35 in a couple of months because of how many of them that were pregnant. And one of the females that she didn't catch actually turned around, and all of a sudden they saw it and they realized it had the babies, but nobody knew where. The babies did show up later, and unfortunately, we were able to take those kittens into a rescue, and they were all adopted out.
Oh, good.
And that last mama did get fixed. But you don't know. I mean,
I
if
don't
something
even
was
know if
with
they're
them, then they
females
got
or
lost.
males, I don't know what the 3 are. I'm not-
Yeah, so
no idea.
sometimes it's hard to tell.
Plus too, when you make the appointments with PFA, I mean, they realize what you're dealing with. If you make an appointment and then you can't trap the cat, I mean, they understand.
Yeah, that's pretty
Right.
good.
So you make the appointment first before,
Yeah. I'm sure you have an
Yeah.
appointment.
okay.
So we have so many appointments on certain days.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Full well knowing, we may have 3 slots, but we only get 1.
Got it.
You know, but if we know there's only 3 slots, we can't have you catch 5.
Right, okay. There's only 3 that I know.
They can do
That I know.
I've used a regular trap as kind of a drop trap because I don't have one of them, but I have a larger one of the one that's not a spring, the one that's the gravity trap, and I open up the door, and you can do this with this because if you want to train them to a trap, the way you train a cat to a trap is you prop the door open. I always manage to find a stick with a thing in the middle. And I put it here to hold it open. Or you can, it's gotta be heavy though, so that the cat can't knock it. People use water bottles. But I prop it open and or I use a zip tie and hold it open for 2 or 3 days and feed them and put food in the trap.
Okay.
And every day, start here, start in front of the trap, start here, go here, go here,
A little
go
trail.
there, and eventually, they're gonna have to go to the back to get the food, and that's the day that you set the trap.
Okay.
So that when they
Yeah.
step on it, they're caught.
Train them.
So you kind of train them, you train
Because they're
them
not afraid.
and to get used to the trap.
Yeah.
I did that with a mom and 3 kittens in my apartment complex a couple of years ago.
Did they all go in?
I managed to get the kittens in 2 traps. But that's what I did. I set up 2 traps next to each other. And I put food in both. And I ended up getting the 3 kittens, so I got the mother and the father. So, yeah.
We were trying to trap a domesticated cat that showed up the first week of the pandemic. And he was so smart, but we just kept putting chicken in there and turkey. Just like Nancy said, we didn't set it, we just let them go in a little at a time. And finally, when we were ready and had the vet appointment,
Yeah.
we closed the door.
It took me 2 weeks to catch those 3 kittens.
Sometimes you get lucky and it happens on the first time.
Yeah. Yes.
Sometimes it takes you a couple of weeks of training them to go in while the cage, the locked doors kept so it can't snap, and they just have to get used to it. In their past. They have their own personality. Some are so hungry, they'll just go right in the first time. Others will take weeks.
And so they put that trap 20 minutes later to show
If
up.
they're used to you, they're feeding them.
Explain how.
Good, okay.
And about 3 years old at the time, this is 3 days.
I always go online and look for stuff. But if you Google neighborhood cats, they'll give you, you can go and it's taught by a man named Brian Cordes. And Brian Cordes is the TNR guy, guru. He started Neighborhood Cats. He's worked with PetSmart Charities. He's just the man. He's the top of the world for TNR, and his course is the best. And they do webinars now, so they teach it online.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
learn
he
by
teaches it.
watching someone or someone showing me if I can,
Yeah.
you know.
You're welcome to come up here when we're all done and everything. I want to show you how to try, show you try. You can try this out.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like I was telling you, I'd like to write you guys a donation, because I think it's such an important thing now that I just see backyard cats. I don't know if it's a real big issue in the township, but I mean.
Well, they're all over.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I mean, I'm seeing it firsthand. So.
The feral cats are all over the place. They're in abandoned buildings, they're behind
It's a shame.
restaurants.
Dan, how many feral cats have we, I asked you a couple meetings ago, how many have we done TNR just all together since we started our program?
Yeah, for this past year, we did,
No, but I bet.
I don't know, we've been doing
Wasn't
about
around
150 a year
Wasn't
since,
it around 1,700 cats that since they started this 10 years ago?
probably close to that.
So this is North Brunswick?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's just
Well,
North.
Either
No,
ferals
no,
or
it's
people's
the-
backyard cats.
Right.
Not just North Brunswick, we
We
say
work with
that.
all
I mean,
areas.
but us,
Middlesex
our
County.
group.
Your
our
group?
Summonses for feeding cats.
When my cats are trapped and neutered, I mean, am I then allowed to feed
No,
them?
they will not take them. What happens is a lot of times.
No,
Well, if it's legal for to feed them,
It's not legal, but people, but you can.
Yeah.
it's outside, then
That's
it's.
sorry.
It sounds like what you're doing is good. The biggest complaint we get is people put food out and they leave it out all day.
Yeah.
They got skunks, raccoons,
Oh,
possums.
Yeah, so you gotta pick it up.
I just like put it out in the morning.
Yeah.
If they don't eat it at night, I bring it in.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But after they're, I mean, I'm doing it now, of course, but after they're trapped and they're neutered, I mean, I can still feed them?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
you kind of have to. You take
Well, I wouldn't want them not to.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta realize at this point, they're relying on eating food. If you starve.
Yeah, no, I won't
No,
stop.
I know, but I'm saying in general, people have to recognize it's a commitment.
Yeah.
If you're gonna start feeding them, you gotta get them, they would be able to continue to
Right.
feed them. And you've got to
That's
provide
what I'm
some kind of shelter and fresh water, you know?
Yeah.
Just basic animal needs, we need
And
animal needs.
cable.
Ron has a question.
Ask Minnie something. You sell these cages, I guess, too, don't you?
We maintain a trap tank, and then we lend cages out for free.
You let them out, I mean, I say, you need to.
And we have a couple of different places we can get
But
them.
Pam will know what to do with.
She'll help you
The
with that.
resources are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad that you're here. Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Also, take the time to look through this PSA.
Oh, yeah, I was reading it, but.
It's actually very informative. It
I'll read it when I get
tonight.
home.
You know, it talks about shelter, they talked about spaying,
Actually,
for the
if Pam
winter,
shows me how to
you know,
do this,
grabbing
maybe I'll
shelter.
get more confidence and I'll
You
help
know,
you guys.
this is what I do, like if you are, I'm helping you,
Mhm.
this is what I would do, okay, so what I do is I put the brick over here so
Yeah.
that it can't drag.
Okay.
I put a brick over here and there to add weight, because sometimes when they get excited, they will pop up the trap,
Sure,
okay? And then I put the brick over there, in fact, I can just grab it, okay?
Yeah, I
So-
have bricks at home.
Right, so it's all ready, and then what I actually do, because I want them to start getting used to eating here, I'll put the blanket back here. Because when all of a sudden you pull the string, you don't really have time to get the blanket, so what I do is I actually knock the corners of the blanket, so that whoever's with me, we know exactly what to grab, and then, so you'll grab my sleeve, so you
Mhm.
stand up.
The
and you-
blanket,
I'm putting you to work.
This is the
okay?
blanket.
All right.
I just put the blanket on top, and I
Well,
kind of fold it.
I
And lay it
just,
across the top.
Why have a heavy sheet? Is that what? you're-
Yeah,
But
or
yeah,
a
but
sheet,
this is
you know,
quick
but
saying that this
you
is
just,
a
all you
sheet.
have to do is fold it,
So-
and
So,
then
see,
your clothes
But
is
yeah,
just
but
run
when,
and cover.
in the bucket, sometimes, you know, people will grab one end, so that's why I was knotted.
Mhm.
And then this way you
Oh,
know.
got
it's
you.
not.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you pull it up, and you completely cover it.
When they're, after you
After
trap
you
them?
do.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But
So
I
had
leave,
that.
because cats are smart. They'll know that if you set up the trap just like this and all of a sudden there's a sheep there, they'll notice something is different. So when I start feeding them, you know, you put the food back here, I leave the sheep there with the dots, and then I tell you as the homeowner, since you're the one who feeds them,
Yeah.
they know you. So you are going to pull it, and then you run, and you grab both ends of the sheet, cover it until they're calm.
Oh, okay.
Don't you, you don't stay
So
where
do
the
I
cats
feed
can
them in
see
there
you.
a few
Wait, I
days
have a
before I
question.
actually pull the thing?
What, Nancy? You're gonna feed them in there.
Oh,
No, I know,
Big size.
a few
Hang on,
days
hang on,
before I
hang
actually
on,
pull
hang
it.
on.
You certainly get far enough away so that the cats don't see you.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, it's out of sight.
Out of sight.
Since they know her, she's a feeder, I'm telling them.
Well, I mean, I've had homeowners use a drop trap. They sat on their porch, waited for the cats to go in the drop trap and pulled the string. Same drop trap. Winston is mine.
Weenie, weenie,
Yeah, I
Winston.
love him too.
He was my teddy bear. It took a long time to break free.
Everybody does things their own way, really. I mean, I started doing it, and the way I learned was, and the way I did it over the years. Whatever works for you, it works.
These ferals are beautiful, though. They
Yeah,
have
I'm
beautiful
sure.
markings. and
Listen,
lines.
I drive every day to go feed a feral down in Monroe Township, and I just, I made a commitment to feed her, and I drive every day down here to feed her, so. Hopefully, I really want to find a sanctuary for her, but I don't think that's possible, so.
How old is she
Committed to our
now?
ferals.
How old?
I don't know. She's probably only a couple of years old. She did have a litter last year, but I only saw one kitten. And when I tried to grab it, it stuck back into its high place. And then I never saw the kitten again. She was not a good mom. She was young. But she's a, you know, but I also have to get her fixed. You know, I've been feeding her now, and now I have to get her fixed.
Oh, she's not fixed yet.
Before spring.
I have a question. If they have kittens, like when, like how old do they have to be that they can maybe be, you know, so, not so, like
Remove the mother.
removed and then maybe adopted?
Well,
6 to 7 weeks at the minimum.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Before that, they really.
I don't see any kittens.
They really need a mother's milk.
Right, 6 to 7.
I mean, if they happen to have them before, you know, hopefully they're fixed before they're, you know.
I hope, yeah.
You know, that's another whole side of TNR. Feral moms with their babies, and you know, rescues or people that'll take a feral mom in and let her raise the babies inside for 7 weeks or so, and then the kittens are being socialized. Sometimes the mother gets friendly, but if she doesn't, she stays feral, and you have her fixed, you put her back outside. So she continues to live outside, but she's not getting pregnant. There's all different sides to it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I had no idea of the world of cats until I started rescue 10 years ago. I mean, I always had a little hand in it on my own, thinking back. But once I got into an organization, I really found out more and more about cats. And they're pretty fascinating animals. I love dogs. I work with dogs too, but cats are a whole another thing.
Whole different animal.
Oh, there's some other dogs I work with too, so. Just animals.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions for Nancy? Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you.
I wish I did that, but it's been a while since I did this, so, but, I hope everybody does something. Go online, you can learn so much online.
We really appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you very much.